Hi OpenBoxes users. In this video I'm going to show you how to create a stock list. So the first step before you do anything in OpenBoxes is of course to log in and to get to your dashboard. In this case, because we're doing an administrative function and not a warehousing function, it does not matter which warehouse you choose. So log in, choose any warehouse, and then you'll be at your dashboard page. Creating a stock list is an admin function. So if you don't have admin or super user permissions, you won't be able to see what I'm doing on this video on your screen. So if you are someone who needs to manage stock lists, make sure that you have the correct permissions in order to do that. So the first thing I'm going to do in order to create a stock list is to go to my configuration tab. Under Other, at the very bottom, you'll see the word Stock Lists. I'm going to click on that. This brings you to a list of all of the stock lists that exist in the system. As you can see, there are already several. They are included in this list with a few different pieces of information provided. You can see whether the stock list is published, meaning is it available for everyone to see or is it still a draft? The name of the stock list, the type, which is usually stock, the commodity class. In this case, these are blank, but you could put medication, consumable, durable, mixed. The origin, this is the warehouse where the stock is coming from. The destination is the requesting depot and where the stock is going to. The number of items on the requisition. Who is usually making the requests. Who created the stock list and who last updated the stock list, and then the date that happened, so the date created and the date last updated. So you can see a lot of really useful information. You can also search. So I can search, for example, nettoyage. And this nettoyage stock list will come up. I could also search SOP. And we'll see that ASH SOP stock list comes up. So anything that's in the name will come up here. I can filter by origin. So it looks like we have a bunch of things from ASH. So I'll filter by ASH so that you can see what's there. And I can similarly filter by destination, requisition type, and commodity class. So in this case, I don't want to edit the stock list. I'm going to do that in a later video. I just want to create a new stock list. So I'm going to go to Add Stock List here. So now I'm going to choose all of the data that we saw for those other stock lists on the stock list. So the name. The name should be something that makes it very clear what this list is. So I would assume that it would probably include the facility of the destination, has some kind of description of what it's for. In this case, let's say that I am creating a stock list for one of our hospitals in Liberia. And I want to split that stock list into a couple of different pieces. So I'm going to do medications and consumables and durables as separate stock lists. So this is going to be our J.J. Dawson medication stock list. Maybe just J.J. Dawson medication. It's pre-chosen the origin based on the warehouse I'm in, but I don't have to keep that. I can choose my own origin. The destination is the facility that it's going to, so my destination is going to be J.J. Dawson Memorial Hospital. For managed by, I am going to select the name of the person who's going to be managing it in OpenBoxes. And then I'm going to choose my replenishment period. What this means is how often are you using this stock list to refill up to your max quantity. So in this case, this is a monthly list. So I would put 30 days. If you're doing biweekly, you could put 15. If you're doing weekly, you could put 7. You can then choose a sort by. So sort by date added means that the earliest added would be first and the latest added would be on the bottom of the list. Sort by category will sort by clinical category. And sort by sort index will mean the order that you originally imported them. Or you can indicate another sort. So I'm going to have it sort by category. And then I can add any sort of description. I don't feel that I need any more description than I already have, so I'm just going to press save. This now brings you to the stock list items page. This is where you can add and edit stock list items. So I'm going to show you how to add a few items manually, and then we will instead look at importing stock list items. So first of all, to add an item manually, all you have to do is type the name or the code into this product search box. So let's say I want albuterol. I type in the search box, select what comes up, and then I add my max quantity. My max quantity is the amount that I want to refill to every month. So at the end of every month, J.J. Dawson will count their stock. If they don't have 1,000 salbutamol inhalers, then we'll need to replenish to get them back up to the quantity of 1,000 at the beginning of the month. So that 1,000 is our max quantity. Unit of measure for PIH is always each, but you can add different units of measure and use them here. And then it's very important to press add. If you just press save, it will not work. You have to press add to make sure you have added this item to your list. So that is how you add one item at a time to the stock list. I'm going to now delete that item, and I'm going to show you how you can import your stock list items. So there are a few different ways to do it. You can import as a file, import as a string, and bulk add by product codes. So if you import as a file, what you can do is first export your stock list items list to get your template file. Once that downloads, you can open it. And now you have an Excel spreadsheet that has exactly what you need in order to do the import. So I'm going to put in my product codes. For the sake of simplicity, I'm just going to use basic number series. I'm going to make sure, because these are numbers, that they are formatted as text. And I need to put something in the product name. It's not going to verify that I put the correct product name, but something needs to be in that field. So in this case, I'm just going to put anything in that field. Obviously, if you have the product name, it's really useful for you to be able to see the product name. Then the quantity, so we'll say 100, 10, 20, and the unit of measure, once again, if it can't verify, it will just use each, but you should put something in this field. So now I'm going to save that stock list. And I'm going to choose that file and press upload. So now you can see it's giving you it's giving you an opportunity to see the data that you've imported. Okay, this looks good, and I'm going to press save. So then it gives you this really useful message at the top: imported 3 stock list items, updated 0, ignored 0. So what that means is it added 3 new lines. It didn't update any lines because there weren't any existing lines for those products, and it ignored 0. So this is what you want if you're importing all new lines. If it ignores 1, that is probably because either there was an incorrect product code or something else incorrect on your spreadsheet. If it updated, that probably means that that already existed on the spreadsheet. So you want to go back and just make sure that you didn't accidentally import a duplicate. And then this is the total number of items that are new. So if you're doing a import from scratch, you'll want to see that the entire number of items on your list were imported and none were updated or ignored. If you're doing an import in order to edit items, you want them all to be updated and none to be imported or ignored. The other thing you can do is import as string. So what you do here is basically you can just copy and paste the same data as we already used straight into this box. So I'm going to change from a comma to a tab. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my spreadsheet that I had before, copy, and just paste everything in. And then press import. And see, once again, it's giving me my list. So, and actually I've done it wrong because I should have skip lines 0, right? Because that was, because I don't want to skip the first line. This has me skipping the first line. So I'm just going to press save to see what happens, since we know that we already have these items in the stock list, right? So you'll see that it ignored 2 stock list items because we're trying to import the exact same 2 lines as we already imported. So it knows that, and it's just ignored those lines. The final way to do an import is to bulk add by product codes. So what you can do here is just enter a string of product codes separated by a comma. And see, it knows that we already had 01, 02, 03 in there, so it's just added 104 and 105. And it's put it in as a max quantity 1, so you have to then go back and change your max quantity. So those are the 3 different ways to import stock list items. If you want to get rid of any stock list items, you can always delete them. Or if you have a really catastrophic import, you can clear stock list items in order to delete all of the items on the stock list. There are a couple of other important things that you can do here. One is to clone the stock list. So you can basically copy everything about this stock list into a new stock list. So for example, maybe you have the exact same list of medications going to multiple facilities. That would be a good way to avoid having to re-enter all of that data a second time. Another thing that you can do is publish your stock list. So right now you'll see that this stock list is a draft. It is not published because I'm still working on it. In order for anyone to see or use this stock list, it has to be published. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to click Publish Stock List. Now you can see that this stock list is published. It will now be visible in stock movements and in other places where stock lists are used within the system. You can unpublish the stock list if you're having issues, you want to take it offline. And the other thing you can do is both download and email this stock list. So in order to download the stock list, you press here. And this will give you a form for all of your users to fill out. This has all of the stock list items, the max quantity, and a place for them to put their quantity on hand, quantity requested, and for the warehouse to put the quantity approved, and to add any comments. So for most facilities, these requests are happening on paper. So whenever you create a new stock list or make edits to a stock list, this way you can print the new form and circulate that form so people are always using the most up-to-date information. The other thing you can do is email your stock list. So this email button only will send an email to the person who is the manager of the stock list. So I'm not going to click it now so Pacifique doesn't get an email. But what it will do is it will automatically send a PDF of that stock list to the stock list manager. So they will get a notification in their inbox that it's been updated, and then they will have a new version of the form that they can then print and circulate to everyone in the network that needs to use that form. So those are the basics of editing a stock list. I hope this was helpful, and check out some of our other videos to see how to edit stock list items after the fact.